10 ideas to go beyond the form, beyond the class, beyond the shackles of history, beyond the bubbles of complacency. 10 ideas to defrag mind and body. Today, a short tale recovered recently amongst the ruins of a sacred site, once situated on the far banks of the river Wu. The story, now part legend, tells of a Tai Chi tournament between two Tai Chi masters, and it is called Perfected Pot Bellies and Proud Eyebrows. There once was a great Tai Chi master, let's just call him Ming for simplicity's sake. He lived in a remote, misty village close to the Wudan mountains. He had a local school and had taught many of the more wealthier families in the locality, and he was known far and wide for his dedication and skill, arising each day before he went to bed, beginning his long warm-up routine long before he had ended his previous one. It was said he could commune with the animals, and when asked why, he would reply, "If I spoke slang to an orangutan, oh, the advantages any fool on earth can plainly see. Discussing Eastern art and dramas with intellectual llamas, that's a big step forward, you'll agree. If you stop and think of it, there's no doubt of it. I could win a place in history if I could walk with the animals and talk with the animals, grunt, squeak, squawk with the animals, and they could squeak and squawk and speak and talk to me." He was indeed a man of many skills, and a fine dresser too, for he took pride in his eyebrows. He carefully ironed his silk tunic, and he always ensured his chi energy was topped up, a full tank, so to speak, in his abdominal region. But a rival master, let's call him Shun for simplicity's sake, who lived in the next town, was equally celebrated for his skills. He embraced a bean curd-like Tai Chi style, eschewed by the other schools. His technique was soft and embracing, and was said to be able to absorb the qualities of other practices. But no one was that sure, because Shun never spoke about his practice, was never seen practicing, only smiling when anyone ever asked anything. Yet students came and students went, seemingly all the time, mostly outsiders. The villagers spoke of each master's skills and speculated on which was the better fighter, as always reducing the broad array of skills in Tai Chi down to the level of a street brawl. But that was the way things were back then. Some say things haven't changed much to this day, but perhaps I digress. So one day the villagers of the towns in question decided to host a contest between them. Min was so much excited about this because he had trained so long and hard. When he was interviewed by the local paper, he spoke at length about the techniques he would employ, the strength of his stances, his iron fist, his iron suits, his esteemed lineage, and his chi-filled pot belly. In preparation for the tournament, he combed his eyebrows each day to peak length, rehearsed juicy quotes from the Tao Te Ching, and practiced looking wizened and wise in his bagua mirror. Shun, on the other hand, shrugged his shoulders and went about his usual daily activities. He went and checked on whether his goats had slept well the night before. After, he brushed his dog's tail whilst tickling his chin. He talked to his chickens as he fed them and spent the rest of the day making soup. The day of the tournament, Ming shone in his yellow suit. Sunlight bounced joyously off his perfectly groomed eyebrows, and he dazzled the audience with his textbook perfect rendition of Golden Rooster. His moves were geometrically precise, algorithmically perfect, as though he had copied and pasted them from the ancient Tai Chi classics. When Scruffy Shun, however, walked up to perform his Tai Chi, he appeared nonchalant and perhaps a little distracted. A goat had followed him into the arena and had to be shooed away. Shun argued for it to stay, but was overruled, so he muttered something to the goat, and off it trotted to one side. But right now, let's take a short break with this message from today's sponsor. Have you ever wanted to learn Tai Chi but didn't want... Do that bit again. Have you ever wanted to learn Tai Chi but didn't want to commit 57 years of your life to learning a single form? Did you ever want a brief account of the art, the benefits and what learning may realistically entail without Grandmaster taking you on a tour of their trophy room and explaining how you'll be able to merge with the Milky Way after just the first class? Have you ever wanted to kick the knee of the person responsible for writing silly adverts like this one? Well, if this is you, then welcome to the new combined introductory package from the Teapot Monk. Order the new paperback of the Beginner's Guide to the Tai Chi Form, a book that not only teaches you the history and practice of the art from a no-nonsense point of view, but goes on to teach the arm patterns, the leg patterns, and then, and only then, the basic dozen moves common to all styles. But it doesn't stop there. You're also going to be shown how to expand the form, contract the form, and even mirror it on the other side. All these lessons are not only demonstrated with detailed instructions and photos, but, and I hope you're paying attention to this bit, for a limited time you'll receive an entire online self-study video course demonstrating every exercise and move in the book. The course alone usually sells at £45, but it's bundled free with the paperback right now. So what are you waiting for? Use the link in the show notes to get your free course and save yourself not just 45 quid, but 57 years of study at the same time. So, where were we? Shun composed himself before starting. He stood still, and nothing happened. The crowd awaited. They tapped their fingers on the fence surrounding the training ground, but still he stood, awaiting the movement of air. Then, as he felt it circle slowly around the edges of his fingertips, it awakened his energy, and he visibly sunk into the ground. His ligaments began to stretch, and almost imperceptibly he began. It was as though a leaf was being swept up before a gentle breeze, for he floated and then he spun, and there appeared no difference between his moves and that of the wind. His postures, though not following the recognised sequences, were still graceful, and his sense of play unexpected. His adaptability and innovation almost bean curd-like in their yielding nature. The crowd knew not what to think. Ming had followed the rules, whereas Shun, they felt, had made them up as he went along. His sequence bore little resemblance to those of the ancestors, whilst his smile, like the goat at the edge of the arena, never left him, irrespective of posture or transition. Then there was the question of his appearance, his suit rumpled and unironed, and his brows sacrilegiously unkempt. The contest culminated in a push hands competition. Each person took up a stance opposite the other. Ming adopted ward-off left with his right forearm vertical and awaiting. Shun loosely left his forearms soft and jelly-like in contact with those of Ming. Ming grabbed the opportunity and immediately pulled Shun towards him, stepping backwards. Shun, smiling, did not resist. He merely followed, holding firmly now onto the silk sleeves of Ming's ironed suit, his knees pressed into Ming's thighs and palms sliding up his arms, releasing the tunic now pushed into Ming's chest, adding a few pounds to those of the Ming retreating. Ming had no option. He toppled back. It was as though his shadow was now on top of him. He was struggling to stay upright. He clung on to Shun's tunic to try and take him down with him, but the old fabric cotton just ripped and gave away when strength was applied. Down went Ming, and it was over, almost before it had begun. On the surface, Shun had won, but Ming quickly disputed the technique. "I slipped," he said. He asked for a rematch, but the rules did not allow for it. The villagers voted Ming would win the form competition. And as for the push hands, well, given the slippery nature of the sand and the popularity of Ming, it was considered a draw. Once more, the newspapers approached the contestants, first asking Ming what were his thoughts. "I was unlucky," he said. "Next time I will prepare better and win for my style the recognition it so deserves." "And you," said the reporter to Shun, who had been joined now by his goat, "what about future competitions? What are your plans?" "Winning a competition," said Shun, "is like trying to drink the ocean with a fork. As for plans, I have no more than the same that I had yesterday, to make my heart beat match the beat of the universe, to make my nature match that of the natural world around me." And with that, he whispered something into his goat's beard, an instruction to which it appeared to Ming the goat laughed. Shun bowed, and both he and the goat ambled away. Next month, another theme, another approach, and who knows, another person altogether. Make sure you've subscribed to the podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time and attention. Got something to say? You know where to find me. 3